Okay, this is going to be a complete tour of Paradise Stream in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I had some audio difficulties and didn't know it until after I did all of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just narrate it. We will stay in the Champagne Tower Room 437. As you can see, this is the last building at the top of the hill, which we were a little disappointed. The room was fantastic, but we were hoping to stay closer because the older we get, the less we want to walk up these big hills, and one of their other resorts has a big hill as well. But anyways, I'm just talking about they have several rows of these buildings, and we didn't request anything, so I'm not blaming anybody, and we're kind of laughing about it. We end up in the last room at the top of the hill, furthest we possibly could have been. Now here I'm talking about a trail that we took down to the resort a couple times. It's a nature trail, goes all out around. We've walked that several times in the morning, and we're able to see some deer and some turkeys grazing in the field, which was kind of neat. So we're just going to go ahead and walk down this hill, and like I said, I'm just talking about the several rows of room. Apparently Tracy's getting hot, so she's going to take her jacket off or turn it around or something. I stopped here briefly because I noticed that one of the service doors are open, and it's kind of neat to see all the piping, because these rooms all have pools and hot tubs and stuff. So I just stopped briefly there. Anyways, again, we're just kind of talking about the rooms. There's several other rooms on the property as well, but this particular area here, these are all Champagne Tower rooms. As we're walking along, we will be coming up on the back entrance that we took in to this resort last year because their main bridge was out. But it's a beautiful resort. We have a great time. There's a lot of negative comments about it. The resort is dated. There's always something you can complain about no matter where you go, but we always have a blast. There's a lot of activities and fun stuff you can do while you're here. I guess I'm having Tracy check my camera because I'm trying out a new wide angle thing on my camera, and that's what actually I found out caused the issue with my sound. But anyway, as we walk down here, you can just see all the rooms and where we are way back there, room after room. When we got here, this is actually the first day, so this has been Sunday. During the day, there was still a lot of people. And you can see, if you look, I turn the camera on, and you see the hill really starts to drop down here and go down and takes a corner. But they do provide shuttle service that they can, you can call and get picked up and brought around the resort. It's not a giant resort, but the shuttle service is nice. And we took that a couple times, but most of the time it was we just walked. We figured it'd burn off our meals, and so that's what we ended up doing. But by the last day, 3 days into it or so, we took the shuttle. It's a van a couple more times than normal, just because our legs were getting tired. You can see off just behind me there to the right is the road that comes in the back way. In fact, I think I stop here and talk about it in a second. But yeah, we're definitely going down. You can't even see our building now. It's down. It's up over there. Yeah, right where I'm pointing, the road goes off to the right. That's the back entrance, and where I'm pointing now, that's all like where their service buildings are. And we came in that way last year. There's really no need for anybody to go over that way. That's just their facility for taking care of the property. And now I was just talking about when we got here, we tried to come in the resort from the same road we normally do. But the regular road, nothing to do with the resort, but the road itself is closed because they're fixing a bridge out there. Apparently they had half a lane open, but something happened and they had to close the whole thing, so we had to go up and around kind of the mountain to get to it, but it was still pretty easy. But this gives you a little bit better view of what the hill looks like here. You can see it definitely goes up, and I guess I'm going to turn around here, and you can see ahead of me is where the road continues. It goes around a corner, crosses over a bridge, which I believe is Devil's Creek, and which is right there. Paradise Stream is on the other side of the resort, which we'll see that a little later on. This is down below here where I'm talking about Devil's Creek. This is where I went down, took some pictures of a little dam that they have on property, and it's kind of neat. And there's a little walking bridge that we'll talk about. I think I'm talking about Lake Eden right now on the other side of the resort, and Paradise Stream feeds Lake Eden, and that's a different stream than this one here. I think they do come back together downstream from here. But it's beautiful, you know, as you can take a walk down, right down to the stream, walk around, and right where I'm pointing now is the walking trail that kind of crosses over a little footbridge. And you can see there's kind of a little sitting area gazebo up ahead, right straight in the middle of the camera, and then there's the walking bridge that we cross over several times. This is at night. This is all lit up at night, and the bridge has lights going all across it, so you can, you know, because sometimes if you're, you know, watching a band or something at the resort, then you'll leave that at, you know, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. So there's a view of Devil's Hole Creek, I think. And we went down there last year and took a lot of pictures. This year we were just tired from walking up that hill, so we didn't do as many pictures as we normally would. Also, you can see up ahead the little gazebo. Many people got married here on property. We did not, but they'll use that gazebo. That's looking up the stream a little bit. Not too happy with my wide angle things. The quality is not the greatest, so I may not use it again. Now there we're looking at the main building. The part closest to us is the nightclub, and I'm pointing off to the right there. You can see the brownish looking building. That's where the spa and spa services are, which we never use. But your dining hall is in there, and all that stuff is right there. Your front desk is in that building, which we'll see later on. And straight ahead of where I'm walking, we're going to head over towards the game area and the game room and stuff like that. But it's, you know, that's a nice place. But like I said, a lot of people do tours of the rooms and not the place. So straight ahead there, looking across the back parking lot, is where some of the other rooms are located, which is where we stayed last year. Incidentally, when we stayed in those rooms, we stayed in the furthest room possibly away that time as well. I don't know how that keeps happening, but no big deal. Just off camera, oh, maybe I'm going to turn the camera. I'm pointing the gazebo, but just a little bit more to the right there is there's a volleyball, there's all kinds of stuff. I think there's a little soccer field. There's all kinds of activities. You know, if you go here and say there's nothing to do on your board, it's your own fault. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can hang out in your room. There's the main entrance right there, where you can pull right up and go right in. You're looking at the mini golf area, which they're talking about upgrading that, I believe. It used to be up in the woods, up by, we're going to walk by it later on, but they moved it all down here closer. And this is one thing I like about this particular resort, is a lot of the gaming stuff is right down here. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cozy, but it's nice. Everything's right located. It's not all spread out. This little tiki bar you see straight ahead is actually a bar. It's a little, they do serve alcohol and stuff there in the afternoons and evenings while you know, activities are going on. There's volleyball and stuff straight ahead because they have an outdoor pool. Now what else? We're gonna walk by here. Oh yeah, you can see like the soccer nets there behind me to the right. But this is right in this area here is where they meet up for a lot of the games that they have. And they meet right here to the left of where I just was, and they play a lot of the outdoor games and stuff. I'm just pausing here a little bit because something just messed up, so hopefully it's okay. They have, you know, frisbee toss. They have blind driver where, you know, one of you sits in a wheelchair, and the other one pushes blindfolded, and you got to direct them. There's all kinds of activities. and we just have a great time. Tracy and I do win a lot of them. I don't know why, but I guess we're pretty compatible, so we do communicate well with each other. And we took home a lot of little trophies that, are not worth anything other than the fact that you say you can win, you win, or you won. Right now we're heading towards the game room itself. You can see directly behind Trace there is the front entrance to the main building. The game room and building is a separate building, but it also houses like a jacuzzi area, an indoor pool, and there's all kinds of stuff in here too. We have a racquetball, which we didn't play this time, but Tracy and I are no good at it, but we just like whacking the ball around. But you have that you can do. Oh, we're waving to friends of ours that we met last year when they got married. They were on their honeymoon, and then this year we all met back up again for their 1-year anniversary and our 18-year anniversary. So we talked to them, but unfortunately the video's messed up, the audio. They did have a air hockey tournament last year we won. So if you want to work out, they have an exercise room as well. Basketball, hoop inside here, and a few other things. Nothing I'm interested in. I'm not a sports person, and I don't really care to work out. But it's there if you want it. Restroom, I must have whispered something to Tracy for some reason. I don't know what. But anyway, restrooms, table tennis, pool. So I was just telling Joe and Fran that we're doing a video tour, and I asked them if they didn't mind being on YouTube, and they were like, yeah, we don't care. So that's Fran and Joe, and this is their 1-year anniversary. They got married on the same day as us, only 17 years later. And so we all happened to meet up again. We talked about it throughout the year, so we had a lot of fun. It was one of the couple we were hoping to meet up with, but they couldn't make it. But I really like this game room. It's compared to Pocono Palace. Pocono Palace, it's just a big, huge gymnasium, and they took half it and put games and stuff in. But this one here has got a nice sitting area. We don't play many of those video games and stuff. You do have to buy the coins to do it, but we play a few. But the pool table's free, and table tennis is free. It's all, you pay for it, but it's all part of the resort. But there's all kinds of board games if you want to do that. We don't do any of that stuff, but like I said, if you're bored, it's your own fault. I didn't come here just mainly to spend time with each other and have a good time and kind of get away from the regular daily stuff you deal with. But they have a big indoor pool here, which we have not used ever, but it's there. And they got a pretty neat jacuzzi area here. Let's see if I get a good shot of it. So yeah, there's a little jacuzzi area right here. You can go right in, and then it has a stream that goes down to a second jacuzzi area. I was checking. We didn't really look at this before, but you can see the stream behind me that goes down, and then it goes down to another area here that's also a jacuzzi, so you can sit down in here too if you wanted, which we didn't do any of that either, but it was nice. I saw people in it enjoy themselves. Comes right down into here, and so it's kind of neat. If it's your thing to hang out in a jacuzzi, you certainly can do that. Most of the rooms have one anyways, but of course they're not as elaborate as that. But it's there if you want it. So the little bridge that crosses over the little stream that goes from one jacuzzi spot to another. I don't know what I paused for, but alright, we're off again. I do apologize this video is long, but I decided I was just going to do it, and it is what it is. If you want to watch it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. So it's a different entrance. I was waving to Joe and Fran again. We'll catch up with them later. We played pool with them, ate meals with them a couple times. And I don't know what Oh, I know. Joe was telling me that he took pictures and videos last year, but lost a lot of his pictures when he changed phones. So I told him once I did this, I would upload it and send him a link to it. So we'll do that. Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. I felt bad for him. But so we're leaving the game room now. And behind me there's another door that goes into another area. There's a big hall, like if somebody wanted to use it for a reception area or whatever, that's available as well. Let's see here. So we're going to make the corner here. And incidentally, we're walking by a sign. You can't see it's just to the right of Tracy there. They do a scavenger hunt every week. And we hunted and hunted. We walked by that sign I don't know how many times, but we finally found the marbles that were missing. It was CXO Billy O's, and the statement he had made is the CXO has lost his marbles. Can you help find them? So they do these fun games. This is a place where you can go and be a kid again, have fun, and hang out with your spouse or whatever, and just get away from the regular daily life. And if that's what you want, this is the place to go. If you're gonna go and complain about, if you're a complainer and you're gonna be nitpicky about everything, well, then you can ruin it for yourself if you want. This is an entrance here to the hall that people can use for a reception area. It's pretty much closed unless there's no need for anybody to use it or that's staying on the resort unless you're having some sort of reception or gathering. It is available, but there's no reason to walk through there or anything. Well, we're heading out towards I think an outdoor basketball court, as well as archery right there in the background. You can see archery. They have shuffleboard. They have bocce ball, I guess they call it. They have horseshoes. So I'm kind of just talking about each of those things right now. There's the outside basketball court. And, picnic tables throughout that you can sit. And this is also headed towards the main entrance to the resort, as far as driving in, which was closed last year because this whole area had a pretty good sized storm go through and took out a lot of bridges and things like that. So yeah, we're walking through the bocce ball thing there, and there's the horseshoe pits. And then we're going to come up onto the bridge that they were actually rebuilding last year when we got there. And this goes over Paradise Stream. And once I turn here, you'll be able to see the bridge. There it is. So that's brand spanking new. It's less than a year old. And so you can now come into the main entrance that you couldn't before. So that was neat. They got that fixed. It was completely, you walk up to it and it was just a stream. There was no bridge, no nothing. It was just tore right out. We'll cross over here. We're going to head over to tennis courts. So just up in front of me is some tennis courts. Like I said, this is a pretty good sized resort. I apologize that I did have audio issues, so I have to do this narration the best I can. But to my left, me walking on the screen there, is out the main road. And also Paradise Stream is right there to the left as well. So this tennis courts. There's 3 courts here. I've seen a couple people go out here and play, but not too often. But it's there if you want it. And there's a couple rooms in the background there you can see. I can't remember the name of those rooms. They don't, I think it's mainly for people that are performing there. I think I saw one of the guys go in there last year that was actually performing at the resort. But like I said, if you want to go here and find an activity to do, there's tons to do. If you don't, then you can just hang out and do nothing. But if you're bored, it's your own fault. So we crossed through the tennis courts. Now we're going to climb this little embankment here, which is holding back Lake Eden, which is more of a pond. But this is a man-made berm here. So Paradise Stream comes into it to keep it full, and there's a little outlet. The stream runs there behind me. That's what I'm pointing at now, and you'll be able to see all this here in a minute. They call Lake Eden, like I said, it's barely a pond, honestly, but it's all on property. They do stock it with fish, I believe, and you can fish. They have a couple of rowboats and a couple of paddle boats. You can go out there and paddle around or whatever. And those rooms there are the Lakeside Villas, which is where we will stay next year. So that room directly straight ahead is the closest one to the main lobby area. And one of those first 3 or 4 rooms is where I want to stay. I don't want to walk as much as we did this year. So you can see the boats there, and then here's the lake. And that white thing straight ahead there to the left, this little bridge that goes over to a small little island. So we'll walk around the outside of this, and yeah, and just off through the bushes here is Paradise Stream. It kind of runs along the side of it, and upstream a little bit you'll be able to see where it feeds into the lake to keep it full and keep the water fresh. But it's flowing right there beside us as well, and then right here is where the outlet is, so it doesn't overflow, and it just goes back and somewhere ties back into the stream. Never thought to go look for that. But you have those lakeside villas that wrap around that whole other side of the pond. Some beautiful views in the morning of the sunrise or in the afternoon sunset in some of those rooms. Oh, I'm checking my time because we know there were some activities we wanted to go play and go do. So they have scheduled activities every morning. You get a little pamphlet talking about what's going on throughout the day and what time they are, so you can kind of plan your day around that, which is nice. So we'll be doing that, and I think we might have been talking about doing a tour of each of the rooms. So I think every week or every couple times a week they do a tour of the room. So if you're staying in one room and you want to see what another room looks like, you can take that tour. There's the little bridge that goes over to that island. There's a couple of lights on that bridge for at night. It's kind of neat. A lot of geese too. It's one issue they have. A lot of geese all over the place, leaving their mark. And a few ducks as well. But they are all over the lawns everywhere. We didn't take the boats out this time. Last time we did, we took the boats. We kind of rode around a little bit. But decided not to this year. Sorry for the sun glare. I guess I have to clean my lenses. I don't know what we're talking about now, but we're just walking around the lake, and if I turn, I don't know if I'm going to turn the camera or not, but basically to the left of this screen here, way up on top of the hill, is where the rooms where we were staying in. But they're quite a ways from here, quite a ways. Alright, so this is the upper end of the lake, and you can see there's more lakeside villas here, and the inlet to the lake is right there in those bushes. And again, right behind me there is the stream that runs along the side of it. I think there's 2 or 3 inlets. That's what Tracy was saying when we were talking about it. But this is all, they keep this all mowed so you can walk all around this. Alright, so there's a couple of the inlets right there. So the water's always flowing. Straight beyond all those buildings way down there is, again, the front parking lot. So it kind of gives you an idea of the size of the property. You can walk in front of all these properties, these buildings here around the lake, down to that little bridge. Or I think we go out behind them here because we wanted to go out to the other rooms that we hadn't gone by yet. The good thing is there's no doubt the property needs some maintenance and care. There's a lot of comments about that. However, we've stayed at well, they have 3 resorts now. They used to have 4, but we've stayed many times over the past 18, 19 years, and it's changed ownerships a lot in the past few years. And we definitely have a sense of the owner now does seem to be wanting to put money back into the property. So we're starting to see those upgrades, which is fantastic, because some of the comments people make about the property are true, but you don't need to let that ruin your vacation. If you do, that's your own fault. But now they're getting flat screens in a lot of the rooms, if not all. I've seen new carpeting. In fact, the rooms we were in, they just roofed them all. They're all new roofs. So yeah, you can see the geese here. Now these rooms to the right, again, Lakeside Villas. The ones just to the left you can't see are Diana's Oasis rooms right there. Those are the newest rooms on the property. They're several years old now, but they're the latest ones that they did. And then we're going to be coming up by the Garden of Eden apple rooms, something like that. But yeah, so like I was saying, the current owner does seem to want to actually fix the properties up, which is fantastic, because they do need work. There's no doubt about it. But if you just want to go on and complain about that and let it ruin your trip or ruin somebody else's, shame on you. I'll give you a good example. In our room, the pool, which is a heart-shaped pool, right up against the edge where the water level is like 2 tiles missing. Now, I've seen many people go online and take a picture of that and complain about that. And sure, I could do that too. And should the tiles be fixed? Yep, they should be. But did it affect the use of the room or anything else or my trip? Absolutely not. So why complain about it? If it's something legit, absolutely, complain, get it fixed, get it taken care of. But so yeah, those rooms right there to the right are Diana's Oasis, and now we're heading towards the Garden of Eden rooms, which this is where we stayed last year. Is in that room you see right there. I think there's like 6 or 8 of these buildings, but we stayed in this particular building that you're looking at, and there's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 rooms in each building. So hopefully this is giving you a sense of the size of the property as well. It's pretty good size. Now they do have 3 properties that they own. This is not the biggest one. In fact, I think as far as space-wise, it's the smallest one. Cove Haven, their actual property, Cove Haven, which is the original one, is the largest one, biggest layout, and a ton of walking. So yeah, we stayed in that building right there to the left. And oh yes, I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we were smelling something very funky right here. I don't know what it was, but anyway, we stayed right where I'm pointing, right around the corner there in that room, which of course is the last furthest building and the room on the back side. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they don't like us or something, but no, I know that's not it. They have no idea, just the way it landed and the room we ended up in. But so it's just kind of funny. We laugh about it. Now to the right here, where I'm talking about, this is where the mini golf used to be, up in these woods through here. And I believe just a couple of years ago, they moved it down to where you saw it when we were first talking about it. So they kind of got everything down close together. These buildings are round for the most part. And the backside of them are up against the Devil's Creek, the first creek we were talking about. But yeah, all through this little open area, you can kind of see the grass is a different color. Where I'm pointing there is where the mini golf things used to set a few years ago. And they've got that all moved down the other way. a lot of walking. We did this on the first day. We didn't really, well, we did head up in this area again when we were still looking for the lost marbles, which incidentally we did find and won t-shirts for that. So that was kind of cool. It gave us something to do. I think we were in between activities, and we said, well, hey, let's try to find those marbles again. So you can park pretty close to your room in most of the buildings. There's parking all over the place. We drive a small RV when we come down, so we stay along the way as well. And the RV is just, it's like a 25 or 30 footer, and you can easily park it. There's plenty of parking. That's looking back at the main building here, and not sure what I'm talking about, but that's the main building. There's more of the Garden of Eden rooms. I think we're going to head towards the main building a little bit here and talk about it. Now, when I was on the bridge when we first walked down the hill, the footbridge, I was looking right straight this way, and now we're looking back at it. So, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. I think I'm just talking about the different ways you can walk to get back to the room we were in. I didn't talk about the little store too. They have an on-property little store that you can gift shop, I guess you want to call it, which is right there to our right. Actually, yeah, right here. I'm pointing at it now, and I also pointed at bikes. You can take bikes out. There's no charge for them, so you can go for a bike ride as long as you stay on the designated areas. There's a gift shop there that's got a few things. It's not fully stocked, obviously, and it doesn't have everything. But you can't buy like whole meals there or anything. Right where I'm pointing now is the main night club, and then of course right there about the end of my fingers where the bridge starts, that little footbridge I was talking about that goes up to the Champagne Tower rooms. That's the bridge we were on when we first started the video, or close to the beginning. So it looks like we're getting ready to wrap things up here. We're walking around the back side of the main building. Just to our right, the brown building here you see is where the gift shop and the spa is. I'm aiming towards that now. Sometimes you can enter the spa from down bottom here or through the gift shop upstairs. So if that's your thing, you can do that. There is a fee for that, obviously. It's not our thing, but once again, like I said, if you come here and you're bored, it is really your own fault. There's enough stuff to keep you busy just in your room, between the pool, jacuzzi. There's our room had 2 TVs if you want to hang out in your room, tables to play games, whatever. And or you can go out here. There is just not enough time to do all of the activities that you could do. There's the bridge that comes in the back way for the driving bridge. We came in last year, and we come in the back way, and a lot of utility vehicles come in through that way and stuff like that, and deliveries. But we're just about to the end here. So anyway, I just want to thank you for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. I'm going to upload this video hopefully today, and hopefully you like it. And again, I apologize for the audio issue. Thanks for swinging by, and have a great day.